Is Fantom the silent winner or just a dead project? My name is mikemadz. Let's start. Before we start the video, let's grow strong together. So please like, comment below, check out my links in the description, and the most important thing, subscribe. Alright, let's stop wasting time. Let's jump straight into the facts for Fantom. Fantom, in my personal opinion, belongs minimum or has the ability to be a minimum in the top 20 projects overall. Right now at approximately place 77. For me, there is no reason for Dogecoin or Shiba Inu to be up there and Fantom not to be up there. Fantom, if you look at the market cap, the TVL and the active addresses actually are respectable. So we're going to have a deep dive on some important metrics that are promising. And one thing that I personally don't like about Fantom, and I think might cause more harm than good in the future. Okay, let's go. All right, first thing we're going to look at on Fantom is the daily active addresses. As you can see here, as of yesterday, Fantom took actually the third place in this criteria. And this pretty much summarizes what I personally think about Fantom very, very well. Fantom simply is not a ghost chain. People like to use Fantom, especially in the DeFi protocol space. If we go over on SpookySwap, for example, you get up to 22% on some liquidity pools. DeFi on Fantom, just in general, is very attractive. It is, like Solana, fairly fast and fairly cheap. Of course, not the cheapest and not the fastest. And I think one thing is happening here, with some of the other layer ones being currently at risk, people are actually migrating to Fantom. Why? Because the market cap is fairly low, so the upside potential on Fantom is very attractive, and it has a great track record in the DeFi space, and Fantom simply just built a name for itself. Alright, second thing we're going to look at is the TVL on Fantom. And this is very, very impressive. Always has been kind of with Fantom. Just simply the market cap to TVL ratio is just beautiful. It's at currently 1.1 with approximately $470 million. We have over 425 million currently in TVL. So basically almost the entire market cap currently is basically locked. I think those are the OGs who bought at lower prices and are just taking benefits of the DeFi space, or people who simply just believe in the Fantom ecosystem, of course. And one thing I will add here, in my personal opinion, there is a high likelihood that we already saw the bottom for Fantom. You have to keep in mind, not all altcoins will bottom at the exact same time. With Fantom dropping well over 94% and currently sitting at 94% from the all-time high, there is a high probability that we already saw the bottom for Fantom. Doesn't mean that we're not going to retest those levels, okay? But with TVL currently being so high, who's going to sell? And who's going to sell that quickly? I think those are attractive prices to buy for the long term if you are bullish on the ecosystem and if you are bullish, of course, on the market in general. All right, one thing that is bullish for Fantom, at least for most people, is that Andre is back. Okay, Andre is back, confirmed. He will be speaking at some sort of event. Personally, I think this is a good and a very, very bad thing. Why? Because in the last bull market, if you remember, Andre left the ecosystem, and that fact alone that he left actually made the price of Fantom fall. And then I have to ask myself, is a decentralized blockchain project, ecosystem, whatever, a decentralized entity, should it be dependent on one person, one genius developer? In my personal opinion, of course, the answer is no. Okay, this has nothing to do with decentralization. Yes, I understand that you have hope in some sort of genius DeFi god who can push the system to another level. However, just relying on that person is not the best thing in my personal opinion. If you only care about the token price, yes, of course, go ahead and invest into it and see it as a bullish thing. However, if you care about decentralization and just independence of a blockchain, you might ask yourself one or two questions about that. That's all I want to say on that subject. Andre is back. All right, coming to the end of the video. Fantom to me is still fairly attractive, especially at those prices. However, don't get it twisted. It's still a very high risk play. It is an altcoin, and the bear market is not over yet or not confirmed over yet. So you have to manage risk in that regard. If you are a fan of Fantom and the Fantom consensus model, you think it has a future ahead, then go ahead and dabble into it. As always, DCA, manage your risk accordingly. Still, I would treat it with caution. I know it is boring to say, I know it is boring to hear, but this is simply just the reality. On the flip side, I think the possibility of the bottom being in for Fantom is fairly high, which again doesn't mean that I'm right. Okay, guys? It just simply means for me, if I look at the upside potential and the downside potential for Fantom, we are at levels where it is interesting to throw some money into Fantom, especially looking at the metrics, and especially looking at the TVL and the activity on the chain and the activity on the community. it is a fairly interesting play and it could be life-changing if you're lucky. But as always guys, the most important thing is manage your risk accordingly, be bullish on yourself, don't get wrecked.